Now, this is a good start to the new year. Greetings, my fancy viewers. Welcome back to the channel and a happy new year to you. I hope it was a nice and safe new year for you. And today, I'm going to be talking about Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. It's been just about 20 years. God, I can't believe it's been that long since we've had a Wallace and Gromit cartoon film. I mean, sure, Aardman Animation has done other things in the past, like, say, Chicken Run 2 or Shaun the Sheep the movie, but now they're back to their original roots with Wallace and Gromit. Now, a little history about me is that I adore this little cartoon. I know there are only like 4 or 5 like mini episodes of this series, but I just love them so freaking much. I remember like in elementary school and like middle school, especially in like animation class in middle school, I was just obsessed with these two little guys of Wallace and Gromit. They were just brought so much just joy every time I watched the little series or little cartoons. I just love these guys. And when I was a little kid, Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were-Rabbit was one of my like favorite animated films ever. Like, I adored that film. And when I heard that a sequel was being made for, or not really a sequel, but more of another Wallace and Gromit film, I was just ecstatic just to see another film with these two. And I'm happy to say it was really worth the wait. So the story has Wallace up, to his little antics of creating new inventions and, Gromit always trying to come in and save the day because all of Wallace's inventions go wrong. And this time, Wallace has made a little garden gnome. A nice little gnome that can do all your yard work for you. Now, due to a little Feathers McGraw, yes, he's back from the wrong trousers, that little mini episode of Wallace and Gromit. If you know the history of Wallace and Gromit, he's a huge character in the series. He's now back with vengeance because he was sent to prison because of what happened with the blue diamond in that little mini episode. And now he's trying to escape out of prison, get the blue diamond, and get revenge on Wallace and Gromit. And soon, crazy things start happening because of Feather's revenge, like him hacking into the gnomes and wreaking havoc all across the city, making Wallace seem like he's this mystery thief that's using his garden gnomes to just steal everyone's property and everyone's garden tools and everyone's, fruits and vegetables, things like that. So Feathers has this master plan of making Wallace seem like a big old thief with his new invention of these garden gnomes. And of course, like every Wallace and Gromit cartoon, Gromit is there to save the day. He's there to, put a stop to the garden gnomes. He's figured out the plot of Feathers McGraw, and he's just trying to, help Wallace out. But of course, Wallace, he's oblivious. He has no idea what's going on. He thinks the garden gnomes are fine. He has no issues, with anything that's going on. Just, your basic Wallace and Gromit cartoon where Wallace is, the bumbling buffoon, doesn't know what's going on, and then, you have Gromit coming in, saving the day. It's just, man, that's just Wallace and Gromit, man. Just seeing, this, movie come to life with its story, and just, showing that this series has still got so much soul and spark in it, even with using a similar plot point and plot threads like its other mini cartoons or its other movie, Curse of the Were-Rabbit. Just seeing this, man, I wish it was on the big screen. I only saw it on Netflix because it's not getting a theatrical release. Just seeing this is just, made me feel like a kid again, man. Now this, man, just makes me happy to see Wallace and Gromit back, just with, just this pure amount of attention to detail, love, and joy. Oh my god, this makes me so happy, man. But what's my favorite part about the story is its message and how important it is right now, and about how we are relying too much on technology, AI, how AI is just, taking over just, the creativity of us. It's like, for example, in the movie, Gromit has this nice little garden. He's taking care of the garden and everything, but Wallace makes a garden gnome because he's like, oh, Gromit, he doesn't want to work on the garden. He just wants someone to, do it for him. But Gromit's like, nah, I love my garden. So it has this, message about how these tech companies are oblivious to what we want, how they're oblivious to how, we want to be more creative. We don't want things doing everything for us, but all these tech companies are just like, no, AI and everything now. Microsoft, Google, all these companies are just shot full with AI now, and it's so freaking annoying in my opinion. So seeing this film, that's handcrafted with stop motion clay animation, which looks beautiful by the way, just seeing that beautiful hand-done animation, and just, you know, them being like, hey, AI sucks, AI is taking the soul out of everything, just, man, just a handcrafted, beautiful animation, just giving a giant middle finger to AI and AI art. Man, that makes me so happy just to see that, man. Oh my god. And the ending of this film is just so freaking cool too. Like, it's pretty much just a Mission Impossible action sequence of a boat chase and a train chase and then a fight on top of a train, and then like just the train's gonna be, you know, tumbling over soon, so they gotta get off the train real quick. Like, this beautifully done animation with such a wacky premise of like all these garden gnomes just fighting Gromit and Wallace on the train and everything. Just, it's just so wacky and fun. It felt like a Mission Impossible movie. It was just so entertaining, just, and it just beautifully done action sequences. Like, oh man, just the series still has the spark, man. It still has the sauce. Oh, I loved it so much. Oh, it was just so good. Now, if I did have one, I guess, little complaint about the film, is that I think that while the story is fine how basic it is, there's still a few plot threads where I'm like, it's just like, you know, not as, you know, engaging. Like, you have like these two police officers that are trying to figure out what's going on with Wallace and Gromit and why all these robberies are happening because of the garden gnomes. And while the two characters are fine, they're just not really well developed. I don't really care for them that much. I remember that the first film, Curse of the Were-Rabbit, had a lot of very memorable characters, like the priest and the villain. I remember that those were really memorable characters, but in this one, there aren't really too many of them. It's just, you know, Wallace, Gromit, and, you know, the garden gnomes and Feathers McGraw. Like, they get the job done, you know, perfectly fine, but I guess I wish I could have liked a little bit more really engaging side characters. And also, I feel like Wallace is really, really stupid in this movie. I know it's purposefully done that way, but at the same time, like, come on. Like, there are a few parts where I'm like, come on, just open your eyes, dude. Like, how can you not see that the garden gnomes are, you know, causing all this havoc and everything? Like, how can you not see that? Which I know that's how the original shorts were, so I guess it's not really a complaint, but, you know, I don't know. Maybe there were a few parts where they could have, like, dimmed down Wallace's stupidity. Who knows? Also, as for jokes, some of them work, some of them don't. I didn't really get any too laugh out loud moments. I got a few chuckles here and there, but as for a comedy, it's not super funny, but honestly, I don't really go into Wallace and Gromit for, you know, a huge, you know, bombastic comedy. I go there for great animation, great characters, great story, and I got almost all of that. So this movie's a win in my opinion. Now, even though this is not my favorite Aardman animation film, I still think that goes to either Curse of the Were-Rabbit or Chicken Run. Love both those movies to death. This was still a great return to this series. I really hope we get more Wallace and Gromit stuff, whether it be shorts, movies, or like director's cuts or background stuff with this series. Like, oh my god, it's just so happy to see this series back, and it just, you know, taking down AI and this message of like, AI sucks, let's get rid of this stuff, it's ruining our art, it's ruining our creativity, it's ruining, you know, our free thinking. Just a message that huge in a Wallace and Gromit cartoon is just absolutely just, it's so good. And it's a message that kids need to learn as well, because, you know, kids are glued to their phone with TikTok and Instagram and all these different things. I'm sorry I'm sounding like a boomer right now, but man, this film is just important, and I just loved it to death. And man, this was just a great start to the year. Freaking love this movie, man. Which is why I would love to bestow upon Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl, the Diamond Top Hat. To all my fancy viewers out there, I hope you had a happy new year. I love you all so much. Thank you guys for sticking with me with last year. Last year was a really good year of getting a lot of content out, and I want to make even more this year for y'all. Man, just thank you all so much for the support, and stay safe for the New Year's. Have a great rest of your holiday, and I hope you have a fantastic night. I love you all, and as always, stay fancy.